Hello there, planner friends. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for dropping by today. If you are not new to my channel, you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, what is she doing now? I've never seen this before. But actually, this is not new. This particular binder is over 20 years old. I bought it way back. So this is when I tell you I was a planner girl before planners were cool. This one is proof positive of that. This particular cover is a Franklin Covey, back when they went by, I think, Franklin Quest. It may even be that old. Oh no, so it's still called Franklin Covey. But this one is one from more than 20 years ago because it was before my daughter was born and she's 21. So I used to carry either a half letter size Franklin Covey or a compact size Franklin Covey, depending upon, as you guys know, what's going on and what my whim was. So I have several covers that are in the Franklin Covey compact size and several that are in the Franklin Covey half letter that I've just held on to because they were an investment. I think that back then, they would probably run somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 plus in cost, maybe some of them upwards of 200, which, in the 90s compared to now, that I think would be more like, Gillio or Vanderspec pricing. So they're very well made. They're very high quality, good rings. And if you know anything about the Franklin Covey planners, they're compact planners. They're basically the same size as a personal planner. They're just a little bit wider. Almost, I think now a lot of people call it personal wide, and I've never used a personal wide, so I can't tell you for sure if it's the same size as a Franklin Covey compact, but I think they're pretty close in size. So matter of fact, I have, let me see if I can find it on my mess of a desk. I have a piece of paper. Yeah, so here's Franklin Covey compact. I'll compare. I had cut it to look at whether or not these would fit in some of my Filofax books, my binders. My words are not working today. Some of my Filofax binders. So I had cut this piece of paper to the right size, and then I just stuck it in here for safekeeping. So anyway, this is the size of Franklin Covey compact. So I'll put this off to the side. We'll compare to the personal size paper in just a minute in case you're not familiar with that. But this one, my foray back into personal rings has kind of led me off the deep end, and she's getting chunky. I don't know if you can tell, but she's pretty chunky. And this is 30 millimeter rings, and when I close this one, I have to kind of work to close it. I could use my Gillio, have been using my Gillio, but the rings in my Gillio were 25 millimeter. And I was worried about it stretching and stressing the leather here where the popper is, as well as the rings themselves. So I started looking and digging around in my stash to see what other planners I had that had 30 millimeter rings. Now, I have a Leuttchturm that's 30 millimeter rings. It's in the dark teal, and I was using this for a few days, but I don't know. I don't know what possessed me this weekend, but I decided that I wanted to pull this out and use it. I think it's a really nice cover for summertime. This is kind of that nylon, and then this is undyed leather, which is just absolutely beautiful. The back is the same, and you can see this has got some love on it. I've got some stains from carrying it in my briefcase. I don't care. To me, a planner should be functional, and I'm not going to baby it. So that just, I don't have any idea what the story is, but that to me just tells the story of the planner. So let me walk you through what this looks like inside. You can see it lays flat, which is to me just a beautiful thing. You've got a nice huge pin loop over here that would hold a good chunky pin if you needed it. You've got a slip-in pocket right here where you could put pages, multiple business card slots that are here, and I've just got some things stuck in there, some extra note paper and some other things stuck in there for reference. There's another slot here. There's no big back pocket, but there's plenty of other storage that I don't really think I would even miss it. You can see how full my rings are because this won't even lay flat. These rings, interestingly enough, The Gilio rings and the Leuttchturm rings are round. These are oval. So they're a little bit flatter and a little bit wider, which is interesting from a writing perspective, because when you have this open in the middle for writing on, this is not as high. But I'm sure that was part of the design. But as you can see, these are over 20 years old. They're still very tight, very well made rings. So I'm very pleased with them. And kind of excited to be back in this. There's a slip pocket back here, which I've just stuck some note paper and some stamps. And you can see this was, you know, leather trim with microfiber, as it says right here. And I forgot how much I love it. So I'm going to enjoy carrying this for a while. As far as how I've got this set up, nothing's really changed except for two things. One, I moved my notes pages back. They were, if you will remember, in the front with my shopping. But because my rings are so full, it was becoming challenging to write on them. And so I moved them further back so that it was more comfortable, because they were before this even. And it was just hard to turn the pages and hard to write on. So my notes have moved further back here just to make it a little bit more in the center and easier to write on. I'll see how that works. The whole muscle memory thing of reaching to the front of my planner for my notes, that's what I'm used to now. So this may or may not last, but we'll see how annoyed I get with it or not. The other thing that's changed is that for the last week of July and probably the month of August, I have pulled out of the archives some of the unused Cocoa Daisy personal sized inserts that I have, because I have really just been trying to think about what do I need for my planning. As you guys know, I've been really just kind of contemplating for the last few months, like what planning should look like in this new stage of life that I'm in. If you're new to my channel, my oldest daughter has moved out. She's a rising senior in college. My youngest daughter is about to move out. She's a rising freshman in college. And so instead of keeping up with all the kids' things and schedules, pretty soon it's just going to be my husband and I. And so I don't really need all the detailed planning I used to, because most of my day and his day are consumed by work. So it's really just, you know, the occasional appointment and then our running list of things we want to try to get done in a week. So I pulled these out. I don't even remember what year this particular one was from, but I had several where I had started a month and then not finished it, or started in the middle of the month and not used the whole month. So I just pulled out these because I thought they were pretty and summery. Okay, sorry about that. I got a phone call and I had to stop recording. So let me try to think about where I was at. My husband's at the grocery store for me. So when he called, I knew I needed to answer so that whatever it was he had a question about, he was getting the right thing. Anyway, this is the weekly view, one of the weekly views that the Cocoa Daisy inserts have. They also have a vertical week on one page that's part of the kit. So there's this page as well, if you're not familiar with Cocoa Daisy. So it's got Monday through Sunday, and then the back in this case is just grid. Like I said, I don't remember what year these were from. I was a Cocoa Daisy subscriber for many years. I would think probably 2016, maybe even further back than that. But I know I was pulling this weekend. I've got a big Rubbermaid in my basement where I have all my Cocoa Daisy kits, past kits, and I go down there and rummage through them from time to time. And that's where I found these. So there's no telling. I think the earliest ones I saw down there were 2015 or 2016. So I pulled these out. I don't know what year they're from, but you can see they're very pretty. And all of her products are like this. They're very well made. The paper is really good quality, very well thought out. I had been with them through many evolutions of the planner pages, and I have to say, when I canceled my subscription back in January of this year, or maybe it was last year, I haven't used their stuff for a while. I've been just trying to use up the stuff that I had, because like I said, I have a whole Rubbermaid full. I was very happy with the products and the quality of the products, and they're very well thought out from a planning perspective. So if you are looking for something like this, it's a little more decorated without you having to do the decorating, I would highly recommend that you check out the Cocoa Daisy website. I'll link it in the comments or in the notes, the show notes below, so you can go and look. I will tell you that her subscriptions, her business is primarily a subscription-based business. Christine is the owner's name. And if you really like what she has and you really want to get it, I would strongly advise you to subscribe. It's a 3-month minimum subscription. And so you're not making a long-term commitment. There's also a Facebook group you could go find in the Buy Sell Trade Facebook group. I actually helped found the original Facebook group for Cocoa Daisy, and have since given up that administrative back to the company. But that's another story. Anyway, if it's a kit that's really, really popular or really, really pretty, then it's going to sell out. And all of the other accoutrements that go with it are going to sell out. So if it's something that you want to know for sure you have to use month over month, get the subscription. It's worth it. And if you go into the buy sell trade, most of the time you can sell the things that you don't want without any trouble. So you're not usually out, a whole lot of money. Or you can do like me and you can just hoard it for years and then use it when you get a whim. The other really nice thing about her kits, and this wasn't supposed to be about the Cocoa Daisy, but since I'm going down this rabbit trail, I'll finish my train of thought. The other really nice thing about her kits is that the colors, she uses kind of the same palette of colors. So things from 2018 will coordinate with things maybe from 2020 or 2022. So if you've been a subscriber for a while, or if you choose to subscribe and stay a subscriber for a while, you'll see those colors recurring, and you can cross-pollinate with past kits, things you didn't use up. You could use stickers or whatever, but they all have a unique theme month over month. So the color schemes, the overall palette that she uses is very similar across a year, but month to month you're going to see something very different. They tend to be themed, and she tries really hard to have global themes. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, or the southern hemisphere, either way, you're not going to get something that's not appropriate. You wouldn't get a winter kit in the middle of your spring, or vice versa. She also offers limited edition, custom order holiday kits for Christmas and Halloween, and I think Valentine's Day. Those are always a sellout, usually pre-order, and always well worth the money. So if this is your style of thing, go check out Cocoa Daisy. I would strongly recommend them. I will try to link below some of the other planner videos I may have done in the last year where I had Cocoa Daisy inserts, just so you can see what those look like as well. Okay, back off the rabbit trail about Cocoa Daisy. This is the week on 2 pages that I'm going to use for this week. And what I'm going to do is set it up to where on this side are my time-based things, and on this side are my to-dos for the day. So time-based and to-dos. You can see that Saturday and Sunday share one row. That doesn't bother me. Depending on what your work schedule or your life schedule is, that might be a problem for you, but for me it's perfectly fine. I usually just end up writing timed appointments for the weekend and then doing a post-it note for my to-dos if I have a longer list of to-dos. The other thing that you can do, and I have done in the past, is pull out one of my note pages. These are all Cocoa Daisy, and just punch it in the middle here for extra if I have a running to-do list that's too long. But what I'm going to do here is, this is the week. On the front is I think this one, I thought it was dot grid, but it looks like it's just plain with this beautiful design. And then on the back is a grid. So I'm using this for my running weekly to-do list, this grid page that's on the back of the week. So here's my appointments. Here's my daily tasks that I know I have to do on a certain day. And then this will be my running to-do list for the week. And my marker. And then these are the dailies. So when you get the subscription, the planner subscription, you're going to get the week on 2 pages. You're going to get the week on 1 page. You're going to get enough dailies, and you're going to get a monthly, which I don't have the monthly for this particular month. I must have used it. But you're also going to get a monthly view, month on 2 pages. And that one has places on the front and back of the month where you can take notes and, you know, write to-dos and things like that. So very, like I said, very well thought out. I don't ever write on the front of the page. I use it as a 2-page spread. So let me flip it and show you what I mean. Just flip to one. So here's a 2-page spread. So this is the back of that page you were just looking at, right? So I can have my 2-page spread here. Here's my schedule and my to-do list, cute little hydration reminder. And then over here is a place for notes and ideas and phone calls or emails to send. So I've always worked off of a 2-page spread when I've used my Cocoa Daisy pages and done it like this. I know there are some people that just use this as 1 page, but to me, the flipping back and forth would annoy me, and I would forget to look at stuff. So I work on it as a 2-page spread. So this is Wednesday and Wednesday, and then when you flip the page, you've got Thursday and etc. I also do a weekend on 1 2-page spread. So like I said, I don't have a whole lot of scheduled stuff on the weekend, so it's mostly just a to-do list. So I will use the weekend as 1 2-page spread, but you don't have to, because she gives you enough pages, 31 of the dailies, so you have enough for the whole month. There's no reason to conserve, other than I just like to have my weekend in one spread together. So that's what I'm going to do for the week. And I went ahead while I was rummaging and playing, and I dug out this set from, I think, 2020. And if I remember correctly, I was in a I think I was in a Stalogy at that point, but that was when the world was shut down and nobody was going anywhere, so there wasn't a lot to plan anyway, right? But there was this beautiful set, and I think it was July or August of 2020, and it's a tea themed set, and it was just so pretty. So yesterday when I was digging in my Rubbermaid, I found it, and I thought, I'm going to use this for August, because I did resubscribe for these, but my subscription won't start until the September kits, which ship in August, because you get the kit for the next month. So when my shipment comes in August, it'll be for September. So I'm going to use this for August. And the way I'm doing it is the first weekly page. This is where I'm going to list my projects, the things that I want to try to get done in the month of August. This was a dashboard. There's also a dashboard subscription. And so this was from that. So I used to get, oh my goodness, I used to get, I don't know how many of the different subscriptions she's got. Sticker kits and dashboard kits and planner kits and add-on, and there's a lot. You can be as embellished as you choose in one theme in a month as you desire to spend the money. Christine's got it, and it's all beautiful, very nicely curated, and again, highly recommended. But this is my week. So this particular one I had dated whatever year it was, and so last night I was sitting here thinking, I really want to use these. I didn't write that much in there. I don't know if you can see with the camera, but there's whiteout in a couple places, and I didn't want to have to white out all of this where the dates were. So I sat down, opened up Excel on my laptop, did a month's worth of dates and the week, dates of the week, and printed it on some sticker paper, and then just sat here for half an hour, cut them out and stuck them down so that it was a color that coordinated with the color scheme of the month, and I didn't have to do a whole bunch of whiteout. So I will use this as my task list for the week. This one is dot grid. The other one wasn't. I think it was a little older. This is a newer one, so I don't know if you can see, but it's dot grid. So this will probably be where I write notes, and I've got my whole month here. Isn't it pretty? Her stuff is just so pretty, so well done. I mean, look, it's got little bees. She even had, this particular month, she even had bee die cuts, which I'm not using, but there were bee die cuts I found in my stuff yesterday. Then I have another dashboard from that kit, and that's going to segment, and I'm going to stick the dailies in here, and so I'll be using these dailies for the month of August. Let me see if I can find them to show you, because I had them here on my desk last night. Well, I cleaned up so well I don't know where I put them. So I'll have to find them. Definitely going to have to find them in the next week. But you saw what the daily pages look like. So it's the same structure as these other dailies that I was showing you here. And I'm just going to slip those in behind this tab, and then I'll have my today marker. And these will be, that'll be what I'll use. Now, the only drawback, which isn't really a drawback, but just something to be aware of, if you are a planner stuffer and your rings are already stuffed, Christine's products have very nice quality paper, but it's also heavier paper, thicker paper, which is great if you are decorating and stamping and using, you know, markers and felt tips and fountain pens, etc., etc. But it does bulk up your planner. So if that's something that's a concern, just be aware of it. But I just wanted to show you what I'm planning to do for August. I'm actually even considering maybe just trying to use nothing but the week on 2 and not having the daily, but I thought I would kind of ease into it. For this week, I'll have the week on 2, I'll have the dailies, and I'll see whether or not I need these, use these, and if not, then I may not even stick them in there for August. I may just stay with the week on 2 pages. We will see. So that was a quick rundown, a little bit of a ramble. This is another Cocoa Daisy dashboard from a previous summer. I think this was a June kit. But I wanted to show you what I had pulled out of the archives, this beautiful Franklin Covey. The nice thing about it is, even though my planner is a chunk, and you can see she does not want to close because she's so fat, because these pages are personal size versus personal wide or Franklin Covey, I have plenty of room here when I close this. Let me snap it. That my pen loop is not impacting my pages or anything like that. There's plenty of room here. And back to my other promise to show you, here's the Franklin Covey compact. Here is a personal size, just to give you an idea. Let me put them side by side so you can see the difference. This is good because it's colored, so it's very easy for you to see the difference in size here that you're getting. So there is a part of me that had thought about finding some Franklin Covey compact size inserts, or even buying them from Franklin Covey and putting them in one of my binders. But the reason I went back to personal size, other than I was really missing all of my personal binders, was that I wanted a size that was easy to find inserts for, that I didn't have to custom cut, custom make, or really hunt around or have a limited selection of. And I wanted to be able to do things like pull out my Cocoa Daisy and use it. And she doesn't have, you know, she has a lot of sizes, don't get me wrong. And she's added more sizes in the last few years. But I wanted to use something that was a universal, pretty easy to find size. And so that's what I've got here. Okay, that's all I have for now. Thank you again for stopping by. Let me know what your plans are for August. Are you sticking with the same planner you've always used? Are you doing something different? How did One Book July go for you, for those of you that did it? Did you move into something, stick with it for the whole month? Did you learn some lessons through that exercise? Or did it do you like it does me every single July and send me into a tailspin of trying out 27 different things and coming right back to where I started to begin with? I'd be very curious to hear about that. Until next time, take care. Hope you have a great day, and thanks for stopping by. Bye, everybody.